Stand for the pledge.
Where's the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can't believe that we are here again. It's fair time. Time flies, but it's going to be a wonderful week. It looks like there's going to be no rain. It's going to be hot. So, but that's normal fair weather, and everybody enjoys it, and we'll be out here walking around, and I'm certainly not going to pass up too many stands myself this weekend. So, no diet this weekend per se. At this point, I would like to thank our OSU Extension Office, Eric Barrett, our director. Is Janice here?
Yep.
There she is. You do a wonderful job, your staff, everybody who volunteers, everybody who works out here makes it special for our community. They're very involved with the rural community, with the farmers. You have 4-H out here, you have junior fair, you have a lot of things going on that probably a lot of people in our county really have no idea how important this institution is out here and how important the fair is to our community and our area in general. I want to introduce somebody real quick here, my good friend, Basha Adamzak. She was our newly elected councilwoman in the city of Youngstown. She asked to come out today and see what's happening out in the rural community. Basha, nice to see you. At this time, I will turn it over to the director, Mr. Eric Barrett. There he is.
Great. All right, thanks everybody for coming out today. We're glad to host and see you out there and show you what's happening. We do this every year, but we also want to show you what's happening in Extension in general. Some of our fruit production things we're doing in the county, whether it's our fruit tree printing programs or some of our challenges with growing crops in general this year. We've been able to overcome some of the diseases we had with early rains, but now we need rain. I was talking to Sam a minute ago, and Sam said my pumpkins are only 20 pounds, they should be 40 pounds. So Halloween might be a little smaller this year, but it's still the same price. So between that and our nutrition programs, Robin, Beth, Kelly, some of our other staff that do nutrition programs, those are our federal funding in cooperation with Job and Family Services. So we have those folks, about 5 full-time equivalents that those pay for, that are teaching people how to eat healthier, how to keep their food safe, what to do when the electric goes out. Can you keep that food in your refrigerator? How long is it going to last? And Beth has a nice display over at the fair about that. So we do across the gamut. It's not just those 4-H kids showing livestock. It's the ones that Janice has all these booths in the building. Those kids are learning leadership skills, rocketry, computers. So we have tons of things going on between that and our urban farms in the city that we're working with. A great photo of all the cement block raised beds on asphalt parking lots that we're going in Youngstown. We're growing some food on. So lots happening. If you have any questions, let us know. If anybody wants to talk afterwards, we'll share some stuff. But we know that you've got to be at the fair at 10. So thank you very much for your support through the year, Audrey. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them. Oh, Jackie, our regional director, is here too.
Let her stand up. Stand up, Jackie.
Good morning. Thank you. Great to have you here.
Any words?
I was just going to say there's a lot of excitement, especially around the urban and suburban version of OSU Extension and 4-H, and so I did bring you a couple copies of Extension in the City, which will highlight some of those things that are going across.
So you missed it, Pat Lowry. Janice, we hosted Pat for a day a couple weeks ago, and Janice and the kids, mostly the kids. Janice, I wouldn't trust her with bow and arrow, but the kids taught them what they do for archery and those skills they're learning. So a lot of our urban programs, from some of the shooting sports things to what's happening in my Dora neighborhood, to a lot of our Garden Partners programs. So lots happening in the urban center as well. So, thank you very much. Enjoy the fair.
Janice, you're welcome to have some remarks if you'd like.
Hey, I'm good. I just hope that you all get a chance to get over to the fair and see everything that Extension has displayed over there to kind of illustrate everything that we do throughout the year, beginning with the youth down in Building 25, and then continuing on in the Expo building where there's a really nice display of Extension. You can even test your knowledge on some things. So check it all out. And again, welcome everybody.
And we have our county auditor here, Mr. Ralph Meacham.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning. Yes.
The auditor's booth is the place to be at the Canfield Yesterday we had weights and measure guy all day. We also had our GIS expert, Rich Bell. Today we have Bob Remedio coming out talking about CAUB and property appraisals. Tomorrow we have Heidi Daniel, the Executive Director of the Library. And we have Diane Fry, our county dog pound director, coming out. We have a new dog pound coming to the county next year. We have a forestry agent from the ODNR coming in the next couple of days. And who am I missing? Oh, we have Congressman Bill Johnson coming Sunday afternoon. So stop by the schedule there. It's also online. So come on out. Thank you.
Did Anthony make you wear the shirt today?
Yes.
I'll take his support because he's got more brain power than I got. So, we need Ralph. Before we get into our meeting, we do have some of our staff people here who make the commissioners look good and get everything done behind the scenes. They're very bright, very talented people, and I'd certainly like to begin with none other than Miss Nancy Lavoie, our clerk. Nancy, thank you for all you do. Anna Diaz-Sanis. Anna has been part of the Commissioner's office for many years. She does grants, she does housing, she does it all. Anna, nice to have you here. She's an amazing woman. Another amazing woman is Audrey Tillis. She is our budget director, our administrator. She does about everything in the Commissioner's office. Audrey, thank you for all you do. Mr. Bob Bush, Director of OGJFS. Bob, nice to have you here this morning. Bob runs a multi-million-dollar agency, and very important what he does for our county. Mr. Dennis O'Hara, stand up, Dennis. EMA, our EMA director, nice to have you. Our sanitation engineer, Mr. Bill Coleman. How many years, Bill? A lot. Why? He has more knowledge than he cares to share with us. Karen Haley, where's our HR person? She is. Karen, in charge of a lot of things in the county. Who else did I miss? Please raise your hand. I'm trying to get through it. Jim Fortunato, how could I forget him? Our purchasing director, Jimmy. And of course, Tom Genova, lifelong friend, and with the Sheriff's Office, professor at YSU. Nice to have you here, sir. Any other staff people of the county? No? Artie, would you like to introduce yourself and your buddy?
Art Spellman, We're Township Trustee. Glad to have you in the Commissioners meeting, and this is our chairperson this year, Bob Jones.
Thank you guys for coming out. Very good. And I see you back there. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Don't make them mad. I know that. Don't flex. Of course, Dave Disler, our county commissioner. How are you, Dave?
Oh, doing good.
New knees?
Yeah, brand new knees. I'm 6'1" now. You know, they put my new knees in, straightened my legs out. When they straightened my bow legs out, I grew 5 inches. So you can't tell I'm sitting down, but I'm 6'1" now.
Thank you. And none other than the beautiful Carol Rigetti. Carol?
Thank you.
Our
Thank you
commissioner.
for hosting us. We're
Absolutely.
looking forward to the fair.
Yes, we are. I hate to seem like I'm rushing. I'm trying my best. I know we're trying to get everything in there, but I didn't want to ignore everything. Did I miss anybody, please? It was not by anything being mean. So, I see Beth. Beth, how could I forget you? Stand up. Beth is a staple. She's just wonderful. Beth's the spur. Nice to see you. Okay. Well, with that, we'll get into any public comments. I have to tailor it down to 2 minutes. Just raise your hand, name and address for the record if you wouldn't mind, if you'd like something to say. No? Okay. Very good. I ask for a motion to approve previous minutes of board meeting number 32 and approval of bills for payment.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy-O'Rigetti?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Motion to approve legal notice number 1.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy-O'Rigetti?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy-O'Rigetti?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Travels 2A, Mr. Bob Bush.
Morning again, Commissioner Nancy. This is travel to some of our child support people to the Regional Training Center in Akron, Ohio, non-general fund.
Thank you, sir. Motion to approve travels 2A.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy O'Geady?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Motion to approve agreements, letters A through G. And we'll begin with the county courts. Jimmy, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The Sebring Court lease expires next year. We're in the process of doing a needs assessment, develop specifications to meet those needs, to advertise, and then review any proposals for prospective landlords.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mr. Bush?
This is for our on-site shredding services. This will get a year in extension, and it's non-general fund.
Sanitary, Mr. Coleman.
Hi, yes, good morning, Commissioners. C is an agreement with Ohio Van and Trucks. The board recently approved the purchase of vehicles through the department. This is a spray-on liner that will protect and extend the life of the vehicles. D is an agreement with Youngstown Letter Shop. They handled the processing, the printing, and the mailing of our recently mailed newsletter. E is an agreement with URS. URS is going to be performing the second phase of the significant and major upgrades to the wastewater treatment plant at Boardman. And E would be an agreement, F is an agreement with Greenwood Chevrolet and S to perform some repairs on a vehicle of the department.
And Sheriff, Mr. Eugene.
This is just an agreement with Summit Academy, one of the Summit Academies in the city, for a SRO officer, which is a school resource officer, and they pay, that's the salary and benefits for a 9-month period while school's in session.
Thank you, Tom. Motion to approve agreements, letters A through G.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy O'Geady?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Change orders for A, engineers. Pat or Rick? No? Okay. I have no problem going ahead and approving this. Motion to approve change orders for A.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy O'Geady?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Motion to approve resolutions. Number 1, additions.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy O'Geady?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Resolution awards, letters A and B. And with that in mind, we will go to sanitary. Bill?
Yes, Commissioners, this is the award of the contract for the significant upgrades, improvements to the Camel wastewater treatment plant. This is part of the consent order that the county entered into to do certain improvements that include the elimination of a bypass overflow that is presently in place at the Camel plant. The county took over the Camel plant in 1999, and over the last 15 years we've been doing smaller improvements to bring the plant up to its current level of service, but we need to do some additional things now to move forward, to be in compliance. So this will allow us to do these improvements. It's the APO Horror Company, and the contract is for $1,660,000, and that was significantly under the engineer's estimate for that project.
So Bill, I'm glad to see over the last couple of years how much money we have reinvested back into the sewer system for the residents of the county. That's very important. You know, when you flush your toilet, you want it to work. And with all these floodings and everything that we have, I'm glad we're putting dollars back into the system.
Well, it should be noted that the county commissioners have been always very supportive of the department and providing the resources to do those improvements. Like you said, it's something that most people don't notice. Only when it fails, then you really do notice and recognize the importance and the significance of a properly operating sewer system. And again, the county has been very proactive, and that's also evident through the growth and development that has occurred within the county that has allowed for new businesses to locate here, because we do have a modern sanitary sewer system that is able to accommodate them.
I tell you what, Bill Coleman knows how to go after the federal and state dollars. He's a master. So thank you for that, Bill. Okay, motion to approve resolution of awards, letters A and B.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy O'Geady?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, resolutions, letters A through E. And Jimmy?
A was a date issue with the purchase order.
Okay. And letter B, I'll take that one. Resolution to change the county seat from the Commissioners' hearing room to Berlin Center Township Hall, located at 15823 Akron Canfield Road. That is in Berlin Center, Ohio, on Monday, September the 14th, 2015, at 6 o'clock p.m. So we're back out on the road now, going to different communities. Letter C. Prosecutor here? No?
Commissioners, this is getting outside counsel in relation to a election issue between the city of Youngstown and the Board of Election. And this is right now.
Very good. Thank you so much. And letter D, the resolution regarding fixing time, place of view, final hearing, and notice thereof proposed petition vacating of Apple Alley and part of Beaver Alley in Beaver Township. And Nancy, that will be, date will be set
Yes.
for this hearing in June. Very good. Human Resources, Karen or Bob? Karen. Bob.
Commissioners, this is the hiring of 8 income maintenance aides in the JFS side of the operation. I just want to note that these are not new numbers. They're based on either promotions or retirement, which is backfilling positions. Very good.
Motion to approve the resolutions, letters A through G.
So moved.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes. And for the good of the order, elected officials, department heads, anybody like to comment, please do so. No? Okay.
That's good.
Carol, we're good. Whatever, I'll let you guys
Tell us about that project.
Well, first I'd like to just thank everyone for giving us the opportunity to be here. Eric, OSU Extension, and all the volunteers, Janice and Jackie, the director, for giving us the opportunity to be here. And Eric, congratulations, you and Leslie. I know it's 7 months old, but it's been a year since we've been here. And congratulations on your new baby girl, 7 months. That's fantastic. Thank goodness she had a baby girl. I'm sure she's beautiful like her mother.
Yep.
It's all good. But no, thank you all for being here and for giving us the opportunity. And I really wanted to thank all the county employees too that Anthony introduced on our behalf this morning. So they do a fantastic job, and they're just excellent employees and people. And they really put their heart and soul into their work. And when you talk about things that go on behind the scenes, like Bill, we want to flush the toilet, not have a problem. Well, it seems like we don't have any problems down the county because we have such good people working on our behalf. So they're all excellent staff people and good people in general. So we thank all of them. And I got the opportunity yesterday to go out with my wife last night. And if you were there for the Happy Together tour, now you know you're old when you know all the songs in the Happy Together tour. And I'll tell you, it was the Buckinghams, the Cowsills, the Associations, the Grassroots, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and the Turtles.
Gee, that's mine.
So I'm telling you, all the songs were great. I'd say I knew 99% of them. There was maybe one song I didn't. And what really kind of disappointed me, I was looking forward to the Grassroots, because 100 years ago in my previous life, in 1980 to 85 time frame, I used to have a bar/nightclub in Youngstown called the Arcade. And we had Rob Grill and the Grassroots there in 1984, and I got a chance to hang out with him and talk to him, and he was just such a great guy. And back then I was in my early 20s when I had the nightclub, and he was probably in his mid to late 40s. And we were bringing back, their era was the late 60s, early 70s time frame. And at that time, we had Fabulous Flashbacks playing locally, and a lot of good oldies bands. So I thought it would marry up well, and I brought the Grassroots in. And Rob Grill was the original singer that sang all the hits, Midnight Confession, and most of the people out here may remember that. But some of the old songs. And and I was telling my wife, this is a great thing. Maybe we could go up and I can introduce you to him. He was really nice. And then when they came on to play, it was some young guy singing. And I'm thinking, that's not Rob Grill. So I Googled it while I was sitting there at the concert, and here he passed away in 2012. You know what I thought? Holy Moses, but, you know, I mean, he was only 65, I think, when he died. You know, and I read a little article, he died of a head injury from a fall. You know, so I was a little disappointed that Rob Grill wasn't there to sing, but all in all, it was a great night. We had a good time, and, you know, they, one after another, the neat thing that they did was, you know how if you're ever going to a concert, how they're changing sets between bands and stuff? Well, this was the main people from the band that did the singing. The musicians themselves were all the same. Nothing changed. So the people just walked in and out, one right after another. You know, so and each band played maybe 3, 4, or 5 songs, depending on which band it was. And, you know, the guys would come out, and I'll tell you that Lindsey Buckingham, who was the Paul Revere, from Paul Revere and the Raiders, he come out and he was singing. He looked great. You know, I'm sure that he had, you know, quite a bit of red dye on his hair, but, you know, he looked great from where we were sitting. And here, when he started talking, he said, well, you know, we got to get this concert over before 11 because most of us have to go home and take our meds. You know, and he said he was 74 years old. You know, and he was bouncing around on that stage, you know, a lot better than my knees would hold me. You know, but it was a good night. It was a fun time. You know, and it was definitely something worth going to see in the future. And the grandstands were packed. There was a lot of people. So, I mean, there was a lot of us our age, Carol.
Thank you,
so,
David. I'm glad you
I put myself You know, we didn't get, our friend Pat Giannetti, our favorite county engineer, isn't here, but, you know, he always gets us every year on that map. And he came out a couple of weeks ago, a couple of meetings ago, with the new picture on the map, and he had researched and got all of our high school graduation pictures and put them on the map, or on the map showing, and his, you know, he put Tom Cruise for his picture. And let me tell you, if Carol wasn't one of the Supremes in high school, I don't know. I mean, if you saw her high school picture, she looked like one of the Supremes. And the hair, the look, it was all. I mean, Anthony, I know he's a guitar player. He was ready to start the doo-wop for Carol. So,
At a pro.
Way right through the meeting.
It was neat what Pat did. That was really
Oh, my
catchy.
God. Could you imagine if he would have put that up? Oh, that would have been
Oh, my goodness sakes.
would have been a talking point for Mahoning County, I would think.
no, just thank you, everyone, and you know, have a great time at the fair. Make sure you go over and see everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Carol?
I don't know, this is everyone said it. I'm excited to be at the fair. I love the fair. All the food, but yet we can't lose track of why we're here. The fair is basically agricultural. Check out all the animal barns and the horse racing that's here, and the kids with the 4-H, the historical buildings as well as the cultural buildings. I always I'm very impressed all the time with the seniors. Mahoning County used to have a senior program, which I believe they still do in Austintown at their center, and they would have the most gorgeous Afghans. And I think all the ladies know what I'm talking about. And every year I'd go back, and if no one wanted it, I'd purchase one so I could give it to all my nieces and that. But along with the food and all the fun parts, check all the agricultural things out, because that's basically why we're here. The plants, you know, everything that deals with that. Give your kids a new horizon on the fair, other than the food and the rides. So enjoy yourself. Thanks again to everyone, and have fun all weekend. Be safe.
Absolutely. And one thing I have to say about the fair, every time I come out here every year, it brings me back to my childhood when my mom first brought me and my buddy Tom out here, way back in the early to mid 70s, and they had what was called the African Safari. It was some type of creation that they had here.
Yeah.
and it was a woman that they had in a cage, and they were playing all this different type of jungle music. And I was a young kid, and we're standing there, and there was a guy there, saying all these things, and this lady standing in a cage, right? So through mirrors, this lady turns in to this gorilla. And I was sitting there as a kid, and I got so scared. Me and my buddy Tom, the cage started shaking, the strobe lights went on, and that cage fell down, and me and him went underneath the tent and ran till I couldn't find my parents. So every time I come out here, that memory comes back. It was just spectacular. I mean, it really was. I have to say that.
Only you, Ian.
I know, but I still remember that day. And then on a more somber note, I think we all know we just lost, and I lost a good friend, and Judge Jim Evans. And he was on the fair board. The fair was everything to him. I've known Jim for many, many years. He swore me in twice. And I just want to have a little shout out for Judge Jim Evans, who will not be with us this year. Physically, but spiritually, I know Jim will be here. He was a great guy. And every time I think of the fair, I've always remember seeing Jim here. How nice he was to everybody and how much he cared about things for working down here. So just a little shout out to my good buddy Judge Jim Evans and his family. So with that being said, enjoy the fair. Thank you again for hosting us.
Anthony, it's only 9:30, so I have one more story.
Sure.
Okay?
Ask Carol.
I have to tell you a quick story last night. We're at the concert, and we're with friends of ours, and everybody knows what's going on at Barry Dingle's with the Queen of Hearts, right?
Yeah. Oh, my
So
God.
there was like 6,000 people. They had to close Raccoon Road. I remember Jim Davis, one of the trustees, called me to get Pat Genetti's number because they had to call him up and shut Raccoon Road down. There were so many people wandering, into the road that were up there for the drawing. And we were sitting with two friends, Mark and Janice, that were at the concert last night. And they were saying, "Did you buy any tickets?" "Yeah, we bought some tickets," but and this was actually the first time I ever bought any. But we weren't there. So if you're not there, half of it works. It was at $524,000 last night. But of the 10 cards that were left, there were two queens. So there was a Queen of Hearts and I think a Queen of Clubs, a Queen of Spades. But if you get the other queen, the Queen of Spades, you get 10% of the pie. So you'll get $50,000 if you get the Queen of Spades. And if you're not there, though, you only get half of it. So the couple was at the concert that we were talking to, they had given their tickets to someone else and put their name on it, and were going to split if they won because they weren't going to be able to go there because they got tickets for the Happy Together tour, way back when. And wasn't her ticket pulled? Her ticket was pulled. The guy, Mel Buckman, I think was his name, that was a friend of theirs that was there to collect the money that they got to split it with. So they split the $50,000. They each got $25,000. And I told her that's the most expensive concert she ever went to. The Happy Together tour, her tickets cost her $25,000 to see the Happy Together tour. And
tickets.
when she looked at me, and she's giving me this big look on her face, and I said, "Look at it this way. The way I look at it, just like when you're playing a slot machine, if you didn't hit that max bet and you won, you wouldn't have won if you hit the max bet. If you were there, you wouldn't have, your ticket wouldn't have got pulled. So the luck is, half is better than nothing. So anyway, all good.
All right, Nancy, our next meeting?
Monday.
Berlin Center. Okay, you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes.
Commissioner Chuck?
Yes, thank you.
We're going to have a
Well, so in honor of our Buckeyes, right, that are the first unanimous #1 preseason ever. So if you put a Buckeye in your pocket, it's good luck.
good.
I like that. So these are Mahoning County Buckeyes.
Wow. I have a tree in my backyard once in a
I'm
while.
trying to grow them. For real.
So you could plant it, but I thought that put that in your pocket. It'll be luck for you guys and luck for us for the season. So have a few extras, so all the lucky folks in the front.
Wow.
That is really cool. Thank you.
They're all shined up.
They're all shined up. I've been rubbing them good.
Wow. All right.
So, all right, thanks again. Enjoy the fair. I'll let you out this way if you really want to go over there. But Don't forget opening ceremony is 10 o'clock over by the Fairboard office by the rock and the flagpoles there.
All right.
And then Janice has her 4-H King and Queen crowning this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So if you're hanging around for the day, stop over and help us support the local youth. Thank you very much. Thank you.
They're going to walk in.